This is the first time. I did it maybe like a week ago now, and this is the first time. I did it maybe like a week ago now, and I just on Instagram everyone was telling me to do it, so I was like, why not? Sometimes I just have my barber do it, but I just use the bleach, then I shampoo.
2, 1.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
It is
Happy
Tuesday.
Welcome to KSAT News Now.
Yeah, we're streaming and podcasting, of course, as usual from the KSAT 12 newsroom. And I know Max was in here yesterday. Was he talking to your ear off about the Eagles? I don't want to hear. No, okay,
No.
wow.
He made one mention,
Okay.
and that was about it.
Yeah,
Thank
he just brought up the
goodness.
Eagles once? Okay.
Literally, I
didn't
think he
want him to
did.
just bore you with his Eagles talk
No,
like he
thank
bores
goodness.
me
I think
every
I would
day.
have kicked him out. I kicked Alicia out yesterday. So he got
well,
saved by the bell.
we are going to be doing a little bit of sports. Stick Figure Sports is back, talking about that big dub in the Big Apple.
And we're talking about the Dallas Cowboys.
Absolutely,
America's
yes.
team.
I'm also going to be talking about the Spurs. Of course, they had their annual media day, and also they are going to be making a trip to Uvalde. That's going to be a pretty cool moment there, and we'll explain all that's kind of going on with the San Antonio Spurs.
But first, we want to start with news from the Texas Attorney General fleeing his home. So court records say Ken Paxton ran from home to avoid being served with a subpoena that deals with an abortion lawsuit.
So this deals with the lawsuit from nonprofits that want to help Texans pay for abortions out of state. Court documents detail the moment a process server tried to deliver the papers to the state's top attorney at his home in North Dallas yesterday.
So the process server says a woman who identified herself as Angela opened the door but told him Paxton wasn't able to come to the door as he was on a call. So for reference, Angela is Angela Paxton, the Texas senator, also wife of Ken Paxton.
The process server said that he waited for nearly an hour, and that's when he saw a black SUV pull into the driveway, and then 20 minutes later, Paxton exited his home. The process server called out Paxton's name, but Paxton allegedly ran back into the house.
Sometime later, Paxton ran from his garage to the vehicle. His wife was in the driver's seat and they took off. But yesterday, the Attorney General said he ran away due to concerns for his family's safety. He took to Twitter and tweeted in part, "The media is attacking me for having the audacity to avoid a stranger lingering outside my home and showing concern about the safety and well-being of my family."
And these court documents say that the process server did, the state had court documents, did have those for, of course, Ken Paxton, and ended up placing the documents on the ground near the truck before they drove away. So very bizarre scene there going on.
Yeah, so he did, identify what he was doing once he saw Paxton walk out of his home. So there were several attempts there. Lots of details. So we have that full story right now on KSAT.com. That federal court hearing was scheduled for yesterday. And again, that was the whole point of trying to serve him these papers.
Yeah, and of course, Ken Paxton, no stranger to controversy. He's been under indictment for securities fraud for 7 years, faces a whistleblower lawsuit. So there's a lot of things that Ken Paxton has been involved in as far as being one of the top lawmakers here in the state of Texas.
All right, to other news. Calls to the National Suicide Lifeline have increased 50%, and answered texts have skyrocketed 1,000%. This according to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. But why the spike?
All right, so it's a small change that has clearly made a huge difference. So back in July, they rolled out a new hotline number. They went from 10 digits to just 3988.
For years, organizations, including the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, have worked to make this National Suicide Lifeline a 3-digit number, as clearly it's easier to memorize, especially in a moment of crisis.
Currently, there are 180 call centers nationwide, and the goal is to keep the calls as local as possible. However, if a local office cannot answer, the call is transferred to a national hotline.
But there's also a need for funding and donations, as increased call volumes means increased staffing and, of course, the need for infrastructure updates. For example, 911 is supported by a fee in order to be able to operate locally, and advocates hope the same can be done at a state level for 988.
If you or someone you know is struggling with mental health, call or text 988, again 988, to chat with a trained counselor and try and get yourself or some family members some help as well. I remember doing this story a few months ago and talking with a couple of counselors, and they were saying how just the ability to have that access where it didn't feel like there were sort of any of these walls that, you know, when you call 911, there's all sorts of different avenues that you can go, but that ability to have the access to just speak to someone right away would make the biggest difference in the world to many people.
And the fact that you can text, I mean, if we look at the young population, right? You're talking about your middle schoolers, high schoolers, obviously dealing with a lot of mental health issues. It seems like that has gone up. So for them to be able to text, it's probably, you know, easier to have that communication, or at least open the lines of communication. So definitely check on your loved ones, and remember that number is 988. So makes it easier, but it does make sense, right? They don't have to memorize that 10-digit number. I couldn't even tell you what the hotline number was before.
Same here, yeah.
So 988. That's pretty easy to remember.
Yeah, it's good to see that that's been helping a lot of people out to this point. Well, the Spurs helping some people out here. They are making moves off the court to help the community there in Uvalde. The team is planning what they're calling a community impact event in Uvalde on October 8th.
Details are still being finalized, but here's what we know. It seems the team and head coach Greg Popovich will be making the trip to Uvalde.
Yes, and Coach Pop, of course, has spoken out several times, have definitely not bit his tongue about wanting tougher gun control laws, especially here in Texas. He also spoke at an event in Uvalde in June, and the Spurs are one of many teams who have pledged support for the community across the NBA and other leagues as well.
Which we've seen, like, the effects, right, of like the Houston Texans being there, and how that meant so much to the football team and the community. So to have a home team like the Spurs visit, I'm sure that will be very special. So the NBA announced months ago plans for the Sport for Healing Fund, and that's to provide long-term support for the Uvalde community by creating and investing in trauma and healing-centered care for kids and families. So this is just another approach for the community, which is great to see.
Yeah, and what they're doing is that they want to build more playgrounds there, they want to build more gyms, and just safe spaces for the community there, and they are doing that with the Mavericks, representing Dallas there, and also the Houston Rockets too. So, you know, I like the fact that all three of these NBA Texas teams, you know, kind of putting the rivalry aside here to help out the community. Yeah, for sure. So good stuff there. And we'll see how that works out. Again, October 8th. And again, that should be something pretty special there for the community.
So yesterday, Media Day, and not just for the Spurs, I think for the Dallas Mavs. Was it just for all NBA teams?
Yeah, usually it was over the weekend. A couple of teams had him, and then yesterday was really kind of the day that I would say half the league does them, because the Lakers did it also, Brooklyn, Dallas.
I guess I only follow the Spurs and the Mavs because that was all on my timeline, which was great to see.
Yeah, so they had their annual Media Day, again Monday. This is to tip off the new season, and there's going to be a lot of changes this year.
The Spurs are moving to a much younger team, but also celebrating 50 years playing here in San Antonio.
Yeah, a lot of fun stuff planned for the fans. So they are so young, though, this team right now. In fact, that Coach Pop here went viral because he was pretty honest about their chances this year. Here's what the Spurs head coach had to say.
I probably shouldn't say this, but I'll say it anyway. What the hell? Nobody here should go to Vegas with the thought of betting on us to win the championship. And I know somebody will say, gosh, what a Debbie Downer. There's a chance. What if they work really hard? It's probably not going to happen. But that's not the point. And very honestly, I could care less.
Okay, your thoughts?
My initial thought, so I had read, you know, about this. I had heard about his statement. It makes me laugh. I think everybody in that room.
It was funny. Yeah, it was really funny when he said it.
I don't know if it's funny, but it was kind of like nervous laughter. Like, did he really just say? But I don't know. I don't know what this does to the team, because to hear your head coach be like, nah, we're not.
You have no chance to win the championship.
I mean, that has to be kind of tough.
So
reality check, right? But
right,
still.
right. So they actually followed up with a question for Coach Pop. They're saying, well, what do you think when the team hears about this? And he's like, oh, they don't listen to me anyway. They don't listen to me. So he was joking, obviously, about that. But being very realistic, and I think part of it is that, you know, they're so young, they're going to have to develop together and basically learn how to win as a team together. And I think Coach Pop wants to help them do that.
Reminds me of another team.
Oh yeah? Who would
Well,
that be?
the Cowboys, they have a bunch of rookies.
They do.
And they're struggling here and there, a lot there.
So one of these young players here, we're talking about rookies, is Jeremy Sohan. So are you familiar with Jeremy Sohan?
Of
You must have seen.
course.
Okay, so
He stands
yes.
out because of the fashion.
And he's getting a lot of buzz from that. Spurs fans, the fashion and the hairstyle. So let's hear from Jeremy about sporting the Fiesta-themed hair for the start of Spurs training camp.
This is the first time. I did it maybe like a week ago now. And I just, on Instagram, everyone was telling me to do it. So I was like, why not? Sometimes I just have my barber do it. But I just, use the bleach. Then I shampoo and condition it, keep it healthy, and then put the dye in. So I think it's pretty easy.
Thoughts on his hair care routine there?
That's so silly. That's not what I was expecting to
Yeah.
hear, I'll be honest.
Yeah, it was kind of a silly question
obviously,
for sure.
he clearly knows what he's doing because his hair looks great. I don't think we needed a tutorial, but thanks for including that.
All right, so we're sticking with the sports theme here, and of course, we were talking about the Dallas Cowboys got a big win on Monday night against the New York Giants. Alicia, what are your thoughts here on this?
Look, one good play and I was already playing We Dem Boys.
Okay, that's it? Okay, so I think we're going to
I'm very happy. I mean, I was nervous, but
yeah, it was a close game, so you were a little bit
I was
worried
on the
when
edge
it was
of my seat at moments.
when the score was, what was it? It was 13-6.
Man,
the Giants
when
were
it was
up.
like 3-3?
Okay, here we
for
go.
the longest.
Okay, so we're bringing back stick figure sports.
What?
What
Make
was
the
that?
ink black.
Oh, make the ink black. Okay, we're getting instruction
Okay,
here. Okay,
here we go.
So here we go. Cowboys get the win. So
gonna step
we're going
out.
to do here, yes, what is this? We're going to do an apple here because we got the big apple and the Cowboys taking a big bite out of the big apple there.
How did
I'm
you
going to
come
draw.
up with it?
I'm going to draw my guy right here, Micah. That's
Are
going to
you
be
gonna
Micah, 11.
draw
And then
my
we're going to
dude?
draw,
Diggs?
yeah, we could do him too. Okay, Diggs, number 7. Got him
Trayvon.
there. And then we got one more guy I wanted to give a shout out to. Let's do Demarcus Lawrence because he was a
Dang,
baller
Zeke
as well.
doesn't get a shout out?
No, Zeke don't really get. So, okay, and the reason these are all little right there is that these Cowboys right here, Trayvon, Demarcus, and Micah were men amongst boys last night.
Oh my gosh.
They handled business there. The Cowboys are now 2-1. And what about Dak? Do we have a little controversy
Oh
here?
gosh, you too?
Yes, me too.
There's no controversy. Dak is the
Dak's the
quarterback,
starter.
and that's that.
What did I just do here? I have no idea.
There's no. Proud of your artwork. I'm actually like
bit.
very proud, especially like this
The
part.
big
here,
apple, yeah, take a bite out of the. Okay,
I don't
so
think there's a controversy with Dak.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to recover, and we'll see how it plays out. He still is making money and has a lead position, so
Yeah,
that's not going to change. I mean, that,
okay, well, we'll see because Cooper Rush, I think, is going to start this week against Washington, and if Cooper wins again, it might be crush time.
that will be great to have another player who is solid and that we could count on.
Okay, we'll
But
see.
I don't think that involves a controversy.
We will see. We will see. I think Dak's good. It looks like he's getting back. He got his thumb right, like
Yeah, I
his
saw
healing.
his, and it was in
Yeah.
theme. I posted about it. He had the blue wrap.
Yeah,
So he's
So,
looking good. He was celebrating with the team yesterday
he
afterwards.
was. That was a good
so,
win. That was a big win there for the Cowboys.
McCarthy did say there were some things we got to clean up, but
A lot of penalties.
he's proud of them.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb, my guy. I love CeeDee Lamb, but dropping passes.
Although he did make it up with that one-handed
was a
left-handed
great catch. Yeah.
bringing it in, toes down. One of these days, I'm going to join you for stick figure
Let's do
sports.
it. Yeah, maybe a Kansas City Chiefs.
They
version?
lost,
They did
though,
lose,
to
yeah.
the Colts, which, I mean, it's week 3.
You can draw about them
It's week
losing,
3.
too.
It's week 3.
Do that. That's fine.
All right, so we're going to talk about Weather 101 today, but it looks a little different, okay? The
okay.
question looks a little different.
I like
this
this.
morning, guys, it felt amazing outside, didn't it? Absolutely beautiful. Look at these morning lows. It was 61 degrees in San Antonio, even in the 40s in part of the hill country. So my Weather 101 question to you guys is, when was the last time we were this cool?
Well, we're always
Take
this
a
cool,
guess
though.
month-wise.
I just said April, so I have to stick to
April?
that.
Okay.
Ooh, month-wise, February.
All right.
February
All right.
is freezing.
Y'all are kind of close. Alicia is kind of close. May 26th.
Yeah.
I was
So
May,
May.
because I do remember that May was a little cool
in the morning. In the mornings.
then
That's
we got slapped in the face
144 days, though, guys. We haven't been this cool in
Man,
144 days. So
You
it's
could feel it, too.
really welcome to see the change. And one thing you need to know about the weather is that the mornings are going to continue to be pretty pleasant. Here's a look at those morning lows around San Antonio over the coming days. We're going to be seeing mornings close to 60 degrees in the upper 50s. Really nice. That cup of coffee on the porch for those early risers, feeling like fall, at least in the morning. But in the KSAT 12-hour forecast, you can see that we're quickly warming up. We're already in the 80s out there right now, and this afternoon we will top off right near 90 degrees. 91 for the forecast high temperature. Again, still going to be warm, but at least we're going to have low humidity. And then after the sun sets, it's going to be a pretty nice evening with temperatures in the 70s. So overall, cool mornings, warm afternoons for us. That's a big weather takeaway over the next several days. Alicia and RJ, what do you think about that forecast?
I love it. I mean, I was so
It was
excited
great.
this morning. I
Yeah.
went back inside, grabbed a little sweater. It was great.
Yeah.
I wish I had a porch so I could enjoy my coffee on the porch.
Yeah, definitely in that moment. Yeah, I wish I'd had some coffee a little bit earlier. I did end up getting it, but yeah, it would have been nice to be able to kind of enjoy it outside.
Okay, so you would never think that we're cheering because something crashed into an asteroid,
That's an interesting way to put it, for sure.
right?
Yeah.
But here we are.
And this would be the DART mission that has been accomplished. Today, NASA cheering because the spacecraft, again, crashed into this asteroid right there.
Sounds crazy, but this was actually done on purpose as a way to protect our planet, or at least that's the idea.
Yeah, I would hope that would be it if you just want to crash into an asteroid. So this double asteroid redirection test, or DART for short, launched 10 months ago to hit a space rock that was headed towards Earth. That's pretty scary. And yesterday at 6:15, it finally made impact 6 million miles away from us here at Earth.
6.what million miles?
6.8.
6.8 million miles from Earth. Wow.
That's a lot of
short
miles.
distance
Yeah, that's a lot
right
of
there.
miles for sure.
I mean, even just the celebrations, that was exciting to see. So now the goal was, it was to just redirect the path of the space rock away from Earth, but it will probably take a couple of months before NASA knows if the mission was a complete 100% success. But
Yeah.
as of now, I mean, have you heard those celebrations? They're jumping up and down,
Yeah.
giving each other hugs, so I would take that as a good sign.
Yeah, absolutely. A real life Armageddon situation going on here, that old movie. Yeah, and I think that's gonna be interesting to see if they like kind of redirected this asteroid in any sort of way. I did want to bring up something funny because I saw a tweet yesterday when I was watching the Cowboys game where someone said, wow, this DART thing is really cool, but guess what the Cowboys are playing?
Hold on, what?
It said, this DART thing is really cool, but why are they doing this today? The Cowboys are playing right now. Step aside, DART mission.
I don't get it.
In other words, the Cowboys pretty much had like everyone's attention last night. But yeah, this
for
was a
sure.
really, really like cool thing that they have done. And yeah, it's good that they were able to get this drone to actually make contact here. And they seem very excited, as you said earlier.
All right. Okay. You guys, thanks so much for tuning in, for listening. Remember to share our podcast, and we'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m.
Have a good one, y'all.